Hello and welcome to another episode of the Gem City Gridiron Roundup podcast. As always, I am your host, Macaulay Culkin.
I was waiting if you were going to do that. Where are you, Macaulay Culkin? If anyone needs the backdrop, Blaster's been playing the guy named Jaleel McLaughlin all most of the year based on injuries, and just kind of plugging him in when he needs to. And
We're fun.
a couple weeks ago, Dalton said, "Who's this guy, Macaulay Culkin?" And then he beats Blaster 2 weeks ago in a rout, and then Blaster beats him this week. And uh, Dalton had said previously that if he lost, he was changing his name to Macaulay Culkin. So, yeah, Macaulay Culkin, not Scotch on the Sidelines anymore. Scotch on the
Yep.
Sidelines rolls right off the tongue.
I uh I said on last episode, I said there's no possible way he's beating me. And if he does, then I will change my name to Macaulay Culkin for the next 5 years. So I'm a man of my word.
Oh
And we'll
God,
be Macaulay Culkin for the next 5 years.
man. Um, yeah, playoff fantasy. You've already touched on it, but Blaster, the 8 seed, does get it done against you. That's back-to-back years the 8 seed has won.
Yep.
You took down Sackett last year and ended up winning the title. Blaster takes down you this year. Can Blaster go on and go back-to-back 8 seeds? I don't know.
I'm gonna
What?
send your brother a text that he needs to set a perfect lineup. Yep.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I was in the exact same situation. I'm in my other league, but from Blaster's point of view, and also last year, so I get it. I'm not salty. You win some, you lose some.
mhm.
I
That's
was
coming.
obviously
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah. I mean, that's coming from a guy
Um,
that's, won a couple championships. Like, yeah, you win some, you lose some. Like, I mean, you've won a few and
yeah,
you've won the last two. So it's,
yeah. I mean, this trophy's been in my house for 2 years, so I mean,
yeah. Yep.
there's that.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So that
It
the
was
Suck
just
Up
like the
Cup.
best season I've ever had.
Yeah.
This entire time we've done this, so that was cool.
Yeah. That's
Um,
three straight Triple Crown hopefuls not getting it done. The last 3 years
I
we've
knocked
had,
out the first two.
yeah, you knocked out Luke, Luke and Sackett back-to-back years. And Blaster gets it done. Who is Turd Ferguson? Um, climbs his way
He's not
back.
Macaulay Culkin.
Nope. Sorry, battling something. Ah, but yeah, what a fun day.
Have you
Yeah,
updated the Hall of Records winning percentage?
correct. I've already done it.
Okay, because I was actually thinking about that today. I was like, I bet you my winning percentage shot through the roof
It
this year
did. It
compared to
did.
where it was. So that's good.
And actually, Sackett and I are tied all time now.
What page is it on?
Last
This thing is
page.
so long now.
I know.
No way, is it?
Hmm.
Oh wow. Page 24.
Page 24. Dalton.
Yeah,
Dalton.
page 24.
Okay.
I was here. You went
Okay.
away.
No, yeah, I don't know. Internet. Shitty. But yeah, page 24. It's got all the win percentages and records. Yeah, Sackett and I are tied amongst the top together for once.
Wow, that's crazy because he had just a massive lead for like the first 5 years.
Hmm. But this guy can get it done. I've missed the playoffs once in 10 years. So that's a 90% chance for me to make the playoffs. So
I was under 500 2 years ago, so I'll take it.
yeah, yeah. It's fun when you kind of pop through the Hall of Records and just kind of how far the leagues come with, you know, rosters and scoring formats and the members that have been in the league and yeah, it's just
It'll
fun to
change
kind of
again here soon.
yeah, it will change again and we're down to the final four. It's pretty set already. So
Touchdown, Kenneth Walker.
yeah. But yeah, the Final Four set. We're 2 weeks to go. The folks that lost this week really got nothing to play for except, a little bit of pride. It's for the lottery, honestly. So it's how you see fit. Obviously you still set a lineup, but don't set illegal lineups, I guess. But
Speaking of illegal lineups, Christopher P. Lean will no longer be in the Gem City Gridiron um, starting next year.
yeah, that's all right.
Speaking of which, hilariously enough, it's me and him going at it in our work fantasy league for the championship.
Beat the shit out of them.
I beat the shit out of the dude who had like the most dominant fantasy team I've ever seen.
You got away with that one. You won.
Yep. He was
Nice.
pissed. I got the text message when I got work yesterday. It said, "Well, congrats on having great timing on playing me. The better team will not be moving on."
You could say that this week with Blaster
So he
too.
was not happy.
Hey, I mean, how often does the best team win? Not it's so hard. If you want the best team to win,
Most of the time.
you play 2 week matchups. If you want the best team to win, like
Which he's super salty about this, and this was a 2 week matchup, and I beat him in both legs, so he
so
can say whatever he wants.
yeah, he can say whatever he wants, but you beat him back to like 2 weeks in a row. Like
Yeah,
yeah,
I beat him in both legs. I had an 18-point lead going into the second day, and then I just absolutely obliterated him. He also had Jefferson, Hill, and Keenan Allen were his three wide receivers, and they all got hurt.
that's titties.
Hmm. Anyway,
That's just how it goes. Like that's fantasy.
this
That's what you play. Like it's not
we all
always
knew
gonna
it was going to
be.
be more of this episode than it was to be IRL football
Yeah, we
because
can touch on some
it's a
stuff,
playoff
but
game.
yeah, it's playoffs. Like, um, you win and you go home. There's only 8 teams still playing for something because of the toilet bowl. You're still playing for something. Um, yeah, that's how playoffs go. I mean, yeah, you're like you want to make the playoffs because then you just 3 weeks, just 3 weeks. I made the playoffs in one of my other leagues. I snuck in as the 8th seed. I didn't get it done. That's all right. Like, but you have expectations if you feel like you're the 1, 2, or 3, where you think you have the roster to do it. Um, yeah, that's a tough break for you, Dalton. But that's how the cookie crumbles. And I mean, you talked about all your target hogs, and one was out this week, one got knocked out, and then CD Lamb had an okay day, not one of his great
Garbage
days.
time, baby.
Yeah, so like honestly, like you almost even lost the game before, like you almost didn't even have the lead going into tonight's game. Um, like
Yeah.
you had the lead by
It
like
was hilarious. I had a 4 yard lead.
I know. I was hoping you had just lost last night and you'd be like, okay, well done.
No, I didn't watch myself lose tonight either because I was at the grocery store and stuff. But
Yeah, but it was an inevitable process.
yeah, the
Um,
only way is if randomly Devontae Smith and
JSN both got hurt.
Jackson Smith and Jigba got into a plane accident or something, which we
Yeah,
don't want that to happen. So,
got or they got benched or like yeah, just
I mean, it was theoretically possible I could have
yeah.
survived tonight. However, it was like a 0.2% chance.
I think what the difference is if you play Jacoby Myers, it gives you a little bit better of a window. You'd be up still
Yeah,
probably
I
by
mean,
like
I'd still be
five.
up right now.
You'd still be up like 5 or 6 points. Um,
I liked OBJ going into this week based on what I was looking at and how that offense was looking. So I'm not upset about anything I did.
I get that. Um, it's just a little bit risky of a play, but
I mean,
when
I
you,
didn't really have much of a choice.
yeah, I guess the other option is playing Jacoby Myers on a Thursday night.
But on a Thursday night when he's been bad. And
Yeah,
yeah,
but
it was a good matchup, but he's been bad. And he got the passing touchdown as one of
yeah.
his touchdowns.
Uh-huh. But yeah, do we want to just go right into the matchups that
He
matter and
caught two
just
passes.
yeah. We can go
He
matchups
caught
that
2 passes and got 15 points. I mean, yeah. Yeah, let's do it.
yeah, we can go matchups that matter and then
And
kind
then
of
we could
talk
probably just
IRL.
touch on like the interesting NFL games at
Yeah,
this point in the
there was a
year.
few.
But,
There was a few games. Um, anything else you want to say on your matchup?
I mean, if you look at it, we all know who to blame, and that's Arthur Smith.
Yes.
Uh, Michael Pittman, that hit was really, really bad.
Hmm.
Um, the corner who made that tackle or safety or whatever he
Yeah.
was just suspended for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Sorry, my internet's cutting out. I don't know what's going on.
But I actually think Pittman will. Yeah, it's all right. I put too many eggs in 2 baskets too, and then it was obviously a rough, rainy game in Buffalo, and
Yeah.
the Cowboys actually came through. To be honest with you, 18 points from CeeDee Lamb is way more than it looked like he was going to have. But I had too many eggs in the Ravens basket.
Yeah, I mean, you only had
I can't hear
what?
you. Oh, there
Sorry,
you are.
I was on mute. Sorry. Um, I mean, you only had two players from that. I guess you had quite a bit at Ravens. Yeah, three.
Looking at my team, it really was not that bad of a day. I just didn't have that boom guy like I usually do.
Yeah, Blaster had the big Jared Goff game.
Yep,
And then
that sealed it.
he got the 2 touchdowns from Jerick McKinnon. And that
Yep.
helped quite a bit.
He also had a passing touchdown. No, yeah, he also had a
Yeah,
passing touchdown.
he did. Yeah. But yeah, congratulations, Blaster, the number 8 seed,
Yep.
moving on, and he's going to be facing Luke. Luke's going to take down Drew, and Luke puts up one of the highest point totals of the season, puts up a 180.5. Just sets the nut lineup. You know, a a great day from Minshew, solid from Warren, big day for Gibbs, mediocre from his two receivers and Ayuk and Chase. Big day from Likely, and then the monster games out of the flex. James Cook 36.1 and Jordan Addison 29.1.
Honestly,
And
that's a very nutty performance because I definitely wouldn't have started Addison over Noah Brown. And that gave him an extra 7 points. So that was pretty good on his part for having the nuts to start Addison.
yeah, that just a wonderful, good start to the playoffs for Luke. Luke was coming in on a 2-game losing streak, and I believe, and I have to double check this, but I think this is Luke's. This will be his 4th or 5th semifinal game. I don't think Luke's ever
I don't
missed the.
think he's ever been.
I don't think he's ever missed the playoffs.
He's never been past this the
No,
semifinal either.
he's so if this is his 5th, he's 0-4 in the semis, or vice versa. He's 0-3. He's never gotten it done in the semifinals, but that could all change this year, and he gets Blaster, and but it looks like he's going to be without Chase the rest of the season. So, yeah, tough cookies for that one, but he's been kind of just going all over the place. He's rostering 3 quarterbacks at the moment, 4, but one's gonna get cut this week. Um, yeah, big day
Well, yeah, why does
for
he have
Luke.
so many quarterbacks?
Well, he doesn't have a single quarterback, so he picked up a bunch. And then he was also playing against Drew, who also didn't have a quarterback, so he just bid on
Oh
a
my
bunch of
God, that's
quarterbacks.
even crazier. He uh he has 4 quarterbacks and picks the right one who
Mhm.
has 20 points.
But
That's
again,
nuts. I didn't
uh,
think about that.
and honestly, it didn't matter. Like his quarterback did not make any difference. He'd be have like 165, and it's still.
Why didn't he trade for one?
I tried to trade for him at the deadline, but we could not make the agreement. So I had Fields and Mahomes, so we were trying to work out a deal
Mm.
before the playoffs. But he thought he was able to stream his way to the championship, and he's 1 win away from streaming his
Yep.
way to the championship. So
God, how
good on you, Luke.
it's been so torturous for him
Yeah, I mean,
missing out on a championship game for all these years.
yeah, and that's the thing. Like he's says he can stream his way to the championship. I mean, otherwise you're parting with pieces like we were talking about players in this trade. Like we were talking about, you know, like we threw around Gibbs and Cook and Chase and like trying to find a deal. Because obviously, if I'm trading one of the better quarterbacks, I'm going to need something in return. If he makes that trade, he gives up, a James Cook. Like he doesn't have this performance. So it's like good on him to
Touch, no, not
stand
touchdown.
pat, but good on him for standing pat and one win away from a championship appearance. He's never done it, but who's
He
to
has a
say he can't?
581 win percentage. Has never been to the playoffs. He has the fourth most amount of wins at 71.
Never been to the championship game. I don't think he's ever missed the playoffs, honestly. Like that's like he's been in the league
It's
9 years.
impressive.
Um, I'm just gonna do a quick.
Touchdown, Jalen Hurts. It's his second one
I'm gonna
of the
do
night.
just a quick background check. Um,
Oh, and
let's
while you do
see.
that, I will go over a couple games, and then you stop me
Yeah.
when you get there. All right.
Okay.
So bouncing over to IRL football, we had the Las Vegas Raiders setting records in back-to-back weeks against the Los Angeles Chargers, who are led by Easton Stick. Is a slew of quarterback injuries this year. Another one being Justin Herbert, who is out for the season. Jimmy Garoppolo, he's going to be cut eventually, and there's going to be a lot of dead money eaten by the Raiders, but they don't care because they're making so much money with their ginormous stadium. I didn't watch this game. I woke up to see the score and was absolutely shocked. Um, Easton Sick did have a pretty nice day once they abandoned the run. Austin Eckler just basically didn't show up at all because they couldn't involve him. Um, Josh Palmer with a nice day. Had Keenan Allen started this game, he would have saw all this work. So that would have been cool, but that didn't happen. Jacoby Myers throws a touchdown, trick play. He also catches a touchdown. Devontae Adams is heavily targeted in this one. This one was over so fast. There was a running back committee as Josh Jacobs was ruled out this week. Check his status for next week. Obviously, Antonio Pierce does love him some Josh Jacobs. And go ahead, Zach.
So a quick deep dive. Luke has missed the playoffs just once. He is 8 for 9, because he's been in 1 year less than the original crew. He started when we expanded to 14. This will be Luke's fifth semifinal game. So 5 out of 9 years he's made the semifinals. He is 0-4. So time to get the monkey off your back,
That's
Luke.
torture. He
Yeah.
needs to put a jersey on. He needs to put a 3X jersey on.
I don't know if that's in the budget. But no, Owen 4.
He's gonna have to pay for the extra stitches.
Um, yeah, 0-4 in the semifinals. So, and yeah, like I said, he's missed the playoffs once. Yeah, that's heartbreak. He's been there so many times, and most recently 2 years ago. Um, but yeah, just tough, tough. But going back to Blaster's been to a title game. So there's 2 of the 4 that are left have been to title games. 3 of the 4 have not won a title yet. So good chance, good chance that someone could be a first time champ in year number 10.
Yeah, I mean, everyone needs to band together to take out you, to be honest. So,
Oh man. Well,
um,
let's jump into my
you
game
know,
then.
you know what's crazy to think about?
What's that?
Blaster's son, his firstborn son,
Hmm.
is like not that far away from being old enough to understand how to play this game.
Could be.
Looking in the Children of Gem City Gridiron,
Yeah.
you'd figure at 12 he could probably do this,
Yeah, but he's not.
which we're
He's only 4.
I know. We're looking at 2031, 2031, 2032. Benjamin Robert Englert.
Yeah. But
That's where
we're
we're at. Because we're running out of people to ask to join the league. So
yeah, I know.
pretty soon
Um,
it's going to be inherited.
inherited. Um, we'll jump back up to the matchups that matter. As foreshadowing and forecasting, I do make another semifinal appearance. I take down Heath 136.6 to 87.26. There's a couple pieces still playing, but that's not going to make any difference. Feel bad for Heath. He started out strong, and whenever you have Tyreek Hill, you feel like you got a chance to win, but no Tyreek Hill, no CJ Stroud this week for him. So he's, clawing to Joe Flacco. Um,
Who had a nice day?
yeah, through three picks, but
Ooh, Michael Wilson had a donut. Ooh,
donut. Might as well, yeah,
oh man.
that's tough. And then Keaton Mitchell goes out. It's just not a great day. Um, yeah, rough day in the books for Heath. Um, Heath was
Keaton
in
Mitchell's
the
done for the year. He's going to miss half the year next year too.
yeah, but I mean, I get away with a little bit. Mahomes doesn't do a whole lot, and then not a whole lot from Brees Hall and Achan, but I do get monster days out of Amon-Ra St. Brown, Rashee Rice, and Kyron Williams. AJ Brown still going. Hey, another week, another donut in Zach's lineup. Dalton Kincaid. So always budget for a donut in my lineup. But I usually
He was
have.
targeted a bunch.
He only had two targets. But when we get
Okay.
Josh Allen only threw it 15 times. So he went seven
Okay,
for
I
50.
watched both targets then.
Okay. Yeah, he only 7 of 15. So and Diggs had four of those. So I mean, not a whole lot to go around. But I get the monster day from the Dolphins defense as well. I benched Waddle. Theory was the wind was whipping out there, and then Tyreek Hill was ruled out. I was thinking, shadow coverage by Sauce. I was thinking of I don't want to sound too overconfident, but I felt pretty confident I could beat Heath without Stroud and Hill. Um, and when he was ruled out, I went more of a floor play. I like the floor play of HN I thought was like 8 to 12, where the floor for Waddle could have been like 6 because if he got shut down. Granted, he catches a 60-yard touchdown that skews the numbers by quite a bit, but I'm fine with the entire situation. I made my decision. It did not cost me. But that's, I think I have a deep bench where that affords me to make that decision. And that may be the wrong decision. It may be the right decision, but it gives me the optionality to do multiple things where I'm not pigeonholed into one area. So, yeah.
You know what's funny is looking at your roster and the way you played it is you had a bunch of boom guys and bust guys, and then I had a bunch of middle of the pack guys, and then like the two busts murdered my game.
Yeah, but I think like a lot of my guys were like Amon-Ra St. Brown and Rashee Rice and Kyron Williams. They're all pretty good floor 15-point
Yeah.
games.
You
Um,
have to start Kyron Williams the rest of the
oh,
season at this point.
he's like a top 5 running back. Like he's been amazing. Um, but yeah, I made my choice, and I'm still fine. Like I also wanted to play Zamir White, but I just could not get him in my lineup. Um, so it's fine. And so with that, it brings me to, another semifinal game. And I was going through it. Like obviously I've won 2 championships. I've lost 2 championships. So I've been to 4 championship games. If I make this one, that would be number 5 championship games. Um, and that would be 5 out of 10 years I've been in the championship game. And then including, multiple like third, fourth place games. But I've only missed the playoffs once in 10 years. Um, but I'm still looking to add another first place tag to that trophy. And I know people might not like that, but I mean, me, you, and Sackett all have two. Maybe I can be the first to three. Um,
Not this
so
year. It's supposed to be me. So we're moving on from you.
yeah. So, but there's a very good chance um we get a brand new champion, and the guy that I'm playing could be a brand new champion, and
That's right.
he's
Garrett
got a good team.
Brinkman. He has a good team. He takes out Patrick. Patrick kind of backdoored his way into the playoffs. I could not believe it when it did happen. Um, because I called him out of the playoffs in like week 5. I said there's no way. And then he clawed his way back. Um, Patrick obviously getting the monster day from Christian McCaffrey, who almost had a 100 day. Mike Evans had a nice touchdown pass. Obviously, Baker Mayfield had the perfect passer rating against the Packers. And Deebo Samuel all of a sudden has turned into a great fantasy player as well as a great football player.
Yeah. Dark Horse's team, he's kind of all over the place. He's got, solid games from Purdy and Debo and the big boom game by Christian McCaffrey, but it's sprinkled in with, a 0 points from Dallas defense, 1 point from his kicker, 1.3 from Najee Harris. Like, it's very weird. He's got some options on the bench. Um, he did not play Gabe Davis, and you play Gabe Davis, you're just hoping it's the boom game. Otherwise, you're getting 0. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Dark horse first myself to go to the championship game. Um, yeah, I think we have two of the better rosters. Going early on, I had thought, there was 3 teams that could do it towards the end. Um, Obviously, I'm biased with mine, but Patrick had a rough day. Eckler sub 8 points. Sam Howell gets benched. Mixon, Kamara do fine. Hopkins, not a good day. Evan Ingram, after that great week last week. Um, yeah, just tough. Patrick leaves McLaurin on the bench, goes for 26. Um, yeah, just tough.
You
But
can't really start McLaurin right now anyway, so it's fine.
no, yeah, you eat that. It's how it is. I would probably do the exact same thing with Pat's lineup. So nothing you could really do in that sense. But the game is over. DK Metcalf is not going to put up 40 points in the fourth quarter. So, yeah, down to the final 4. Blaster, Luke, myself, and Dark Horse. So potentially there's only one. I don't know. I don't know if Luke and Blaster have a bowl game, but
I think it's the catch-up bowl, isn't it?
I think that's Luke and Sackett.
We have a dine and ditch bowl with me and Garrett. We
Uh-huh.
have the Drew and Garrett hot chicken bowl. Me and Lean Jailhouse Rock. We have the Heinz ketchup bowl is Cody Blaster versus Lucas Stewart. I knew it.
Is it Cody
That,
Blaster? I thought it was Cody Sackett.
oh, sorry, it is Cody Sackett. It's when the ketchup would not be passed across the
Uh,
table, correct?
yes.
Isn't that the
Yes.
story? It was Perkins, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
We got the Curse Like a Sailor Bowl, which is Luke and Cole. We got the
Yep.
Call Out Bowl, which is Luke and Big Mike Garner, which can be retired at this point.
Well, we have a bunch of
Um,
call out. There's a bunch of ones in the call out bowl. I guess someone just calls out someone.
oh, I see. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Last year probably should have been me and Stuart Brinkman because I said his team was trash all year, and then I beat him in the championship
I mean,
game.
that's me with a lean every year. So
Stuart and Garrett Brinkman is the Brink Bowl. We got the Lumberjack Symphony, which of course is myself and your brother. Dale Brennan Bowl is you and your brother.
that could be a championship
Uh,
game. The Dale Brennan championship game. That would be insane.
we got Hackgate, Energy Bowl, Beer in Your Eye, Louis L'Amour. Okay. We haven't added rivalries lately, but there just hasn't been any new good ones lately.
Yeah.
Matt was very good at creating these too, so there is that.
Yeah. Matt, if you're listening, there's open
I'm still
spots.
holding out hope for Matt to eventually. Wait, who else are we losing?
I'll tell you off air.
Okay. I'm still holding out hope
You
for
can take it.
Matt
You
to
can take
join
a
up
guess.
again.
It's probably pretty easy.
Yeah, I think I know what it is. We'll talk about it off air. But
Yeah.
I'm still holding out hope for Matt to come back.
Yeah, I want a Matthew return. Um,
We'll get
so
it while I'm still Macaulay Culkin probably.
yeah. Yeah. I was talking today. He's like, I heard Blaster took down took down Dalton. I'm like, yeah, that's big upset. Big upset. But yeah,
Yeah,
man,
if you start Jaleel McLaughlin, otherwise known as Macaulay Culkin, against me, and you get the W, you earned it.
you earned it. Earned it. Um, let's touch base on the toilet bowl. We're kind of going um
Yeah, fill me in because I lost track of the matchups already.
yeah,
So
so it's Sackett versus Lean, which
which just doesn't even matter.
it does. I mean, technically Lean could still
Well, it
win.
does matter.
Yeah. Um, so Sackett has 145 points at the moment. He
I
started
don't know
the
where to find this
it's
except for
under
on my phone.
buys. Lean has 119, so it looks like Sackett's gonna have like
Did Lean set a lineup?
he did.
Oh, because you texted him because he talked to me about
Yeah, 'cause don't get me started on that bitch. Um,
it.
he's like, "Oh, thanks for the reminder." God, you're such a loser. But Sackett's gonna have a decent point lead on that. Excuse me. And then Cole has
25
109.
point lead. 20
Uh-huh.
Stuart Brinkman has a 25-point lead on Cole.
So currently, if things were to stand pat, it would be Cole versus Lean for last place, who they've both been last
Um,
place before.
Cole obviously starting the questionable Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, and was ruled out. So
Day of or no?
day of, he was ruled out day of.
Okay, so that's fine. That's not a disqualification, but it doesn't matter because he's going to lose anyway. So.
So yeah, but either way, 2 week matchup. So I will go in and enter a some points for whoever had more points. But it looks like Sackett and Brinkman are going to get um, a couple point head start for the toilet bowl. Yeah,
Which means we once again will likely have someone not riding the toilet seat who should be.
yeah, man. I don't get it. I really don't. It's not
That's all
hard.
right.
It's not hard to set a lineup. I don't. You can be pissed all you want that I DQ'd you, but you're just gonna bitch out and quit. Just check your team twice a week. Whatever.
People live their lives.
Yeah.
I think Blaster is like one catch away from would have beat me if I played Jacoby Myers over um, Odell Beckham.
Yeah, let's see what you would have been. Go ahead and vamp. We'll figure that out.
All right, moving on. We got Minnesota Vikings taking on the Bengals. The Bengals do get the W. Cincinnati is quickly falling in love with a man named Jake Browning. Joe Mixon finds the end zone to save his fantasy day. T. Higgins with a nice day.
You'd be
He
up
actually had
0.76.
okay.
Yeah, one catch. Yeah.
T. Higgins with a huge play on Saturday
Yeah.
to get the Bengals the victory. This one did go to overtime, but the Bengals were down 7. Jake Browning hucks it up there. T. Higgins catches it, and he moves towards the pylon, reaches over, scores the touchdown. The Bengals were still in playoff contention despite losing Joe Burrow. And they also lose Jamar Chase in this game. He has a sprained AC joint in his shoulder, I believe. Um, Chase Brown still looks pretty electric. He does not really do too much in this one. Zach grabs the maker's mark. Justin Jefferson was healthy in this one. He said that he was going to play. Play he did. Jordan Addison with the monster game, which he's had a couple down days, so that was nice to see from him, from the rookie. Obviously, better days are ahead for Jordan Addison. He will likely be a big pickup next season, as you know, the likes of Macaulay Culkin and others have to look towards.
Oh man, that's gonna be great to put on. Great to put on everywhere. Macaulay Culkin. Oh, it just gets me giddy.
Looking forward with Macaulay Culkin.
Looking forward. Oh man. Yeah,
Moving on.
you'd be sorry to interrupt. You would be up 0.76. So one more catch from either one of those guys, you would still lose, which would be even more heartbreaking, I feel like, to lose this like in the fourth quarter of the last game. So
No, I'll actually get some comfort in them getting one more catch.
yeah.
Moving on, the Indianapolis Colts continue their march towards the playoffs as they throttle Pittsburgh Steelers, who have just announced today that Mason Rudolph will get the start next week.
Tank City, baby.
Deontay Johnson finds the end zone. Michael Pittman was off to a screaming start before that cheap shot from that Steelers defender, who has been suspended for the rest of the season.
Oh,
Detroit Lions smack around the Denver Broncos. Um, the Lions offense just showed up like they have in the past. Jared Goff has 5 touchdown passes, which I think is the first time since 2021 or something like that.
I think so.
I can't remember the stat. Sorry, yawning. Jameer Gibbs is electric. Amon-Ra St. Brown could not be stopped. Sam Laporta has 3 touchdowns.
Okay.
Jeez.
Tutties.
He is tight end 2 going into next year, I would guess.
Behind Kelsey?
Yep.
Or is Kelsey fall down?
Um, well, I went into this year saying I didn't want any Kelsey because the regression is coming.
You
We
just
just
don't know
don't know
when.
what year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Laporta
I try to
maybe,
stay.
yeah.
I'm
It
done
might.
with Kelsey for the rest of his career, probably because of where you have to draft him.
Well, it depends on like, in 2 more years if he's still playing, maybe he's around like a 7 guy. I don't know. There's always a price, Dalton. There's always a price.
Buffalo Bills make the Cowboys look silly on Sunday afternoon. They score 31 as the Cowboys scored 10. The Cowboys offense did start to look good about the time that the Buffalo Bills took their foot off the gas pedal. James Cook, my God, pal.
Yeah,
He
big
had a
day.
coming out party for the ages. They kept running him even after I screamed at the television for them to take him off the field because they didn't need to run him anymore. He was just
Oh man.
risking injury at one point.
Oh man.
CeeDee Lamb finds the end zone on the ground uh, to make his day look nice.
Garbage.
The first the game really changed the first 2 drives for both of these teams. Um, 2 personal foul penalties by the Dallas Cowboys really jump started the Bills' offense. They scored 2 touchdowns, and that was all she wrote. Horrible game, Carolina, Atlanta. We don't even need to touch on it. Fire Arthur Smith. I was telling my lieutenant that they needed to fire Arthur Smith in the third quarter if I had any chance at winning my fantasy matchup.
You texted me during that. I'm like, yeah, me too. I agree. Like it's yeah.
Fire him.
Man, it's so yeah. Yeah, that's rough. He needs to go. He needs to
Semi
go.
entertaining game as the Cleveland Browns take down the Chicago Bears. The Bears had multiple chances to win this game and chose not to. Joe Flacco had a very nice march down the field to win this one.
Yeah, Joe Flacco, man. Joe Flacco. He's signed a 1-year contract. No more practice squad for Joe Flacco. He's the starter the rest of the year.
The NFL is more fun with Joe Flacco involved.
Yep. I want to see him play Baltimore so bad. It'll be fun.
Because I was watching the reverse Cowboys masturbation, I did not see any of the 49ers Cardinals game. However, Christian McCaffrey already talked about huge day. Debo Samuel is back to fantasy relevance. Um, Kyler Murray went to the pint-sized tent at one point, and we were not sure if he would return. Um, but that is what it is. James Conner finds the end zone. He had a nice day. The um, Cardinals looked really competent on offense at first, from what I understand, because I didn't see it. Um,
Um,
yeah, 49ers were just dominant.
so Christian McCaffrey in fantasy, he is the highest scoring player in all of fantasy. Quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers. He is the highest scoring. He has 353.1 points. That is 30 more points than Josh Allen. 30. He's got 1,292 yards, 57 catches, um, almost 1,800 all-purpose yards, and 20 touchdowns. Like, dude's
So he
unbelievable.
passed Tyreek Hill this week.
Yeah, he was behind
Tyreek
Tyreek
Hill
by
was number one.
yeah, he's got a 32-point lead on Tyreek Hill, so he was only down by like 12 points. Um, but yeah, that's absolutely wild. Like the next closest running back is Raheem Mostert, and McCaffrey has 98 more points than him. 98. And Mostert has 20 touchdowns. Mostert has 20 touchdowns.
Mostert is such a weird player because like there are so many arguments to sit him, and then he just scores two touchdowns in your face on your bench.
So Kyron Williams is the number 8 running back in total points, and he missed one, two, three, one, two, three, 4 games.
Damn.
Kyron Williams, fantasy lines 17-4, 28, 8.5, 27-7, 7.7, 21-8, got hurt, came back from being hurt 38-4, 2020, 14-13, and 24-5. Like,
That's
dude's
pretty
just,
elite.
yeah, lighting it up. But McCaffrey,
Speaking of elite,
100 more points. That is insane.
speaking of elite, Baker Mayfield goes up to Lambeau in the cold, throws a perfect passer rating game. He even got Chris Godwin involved, which no one has been able to do since Tom left.
That's the thing. Baker's made himself a lot of money next year.
I think Tampa keeps him.
I think Tampa keeps him too.
Did you see that post I sent you about Jameis walking in with empty briefcase?
That dude needs to be a starter, man. That man needs to be a starter.
I
My
think he should
boy.
just be an assistant coach.
The hype man.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Sheesh. Absolutely insane.
So Jameis came in with an empty briefcase and gave a speech saying, everything inside this briefcase is what's stopping us from being great. And it was
No,
empty.
nothing in the case. This dude,
Okay.
that dude's just a legend, man. Like, people gotta
Yeah.
love him.
I've been
Like,
saying Baltimore is going to win the Super Bowl since like week 3.
yeah.
Despite the fact that they really didn't do anything for fantasy purposes, they still just drubbed the Jaguars. The Jaguars have been good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy how good they've been. I don't know. My money's still on the 49ers. Like they look like the best team in football. And guess who plays next week? Baltimore, San Francisco
That's must-watch football.
on Monday. Like on Christmas, they're a Christmas Day game. Oh man. I think there's 2 Monday games.
It's
Two,
three
no,
Monday
there's 3
games.
Monday games. So there's games on Thursday. No Thursday this week. No, there is Thursday. There's
Thursday,
Thursday,
Saturday,
Saturday,
Sunday,
Sunday,
Monday.
Monday. Yep. So yeah, it's gonna be wild. Um, but yeah, Niners, Ravens, lock in. Let's go.
Yep. All right. The Miami Dolphins scored 17 points before the Jets had a yard. Raheem Mostert finds the end zone a couple times. Jalen Waddle finds the end zone. Devon A-Chain was used sparingly. Obviously, he was a little bigged up going into this one. I so don't know why I'm yawning so much, but there's that. Nothing really else to talk about in this game. Tyreek Hill was out. He still probably is on pace to break the receiving record, and he'll be goddamned if he doesn't get in next week to have a chance at it.
By the way, Travis Kelce's not the number one tight end.
We'll get to that in a moment. Moving on. New Orleans ends Tommy DeVito's reign of power. Every time the Saints sacked him, they would do the Italian motion at him. His agent was in a leprechaun suit, so that was cool. Taysom Hill did nothing in this game besides be a decoy and motion all over the place. Alvin Kamara did not show up until late in the second half. Through two tight ends found the end zone for the Saints, not named Taysom Hill, and DeVito actually goes out. He gets sent off after probably a concussion hit, but he did return to the game. He pled for a while that he was all right. That's pretty much it. Let's see. What do we got? Three more games. Kansas City, New England. New England kept this one a little bit closer than it should have been. Two picks for Patrick Mahomes. One of them was weird. It was like defensive lineman swat to an interception, and then the other one was Kadarius Toney. The man is snake bitten. Like he's so talented. But I just would never throw the ball to him at this
God,
point.
yeah. He's my bugaboo.
He
I love
is
Tony.
so cursed. He needs like an exorcism or something. Hunter Harvey finds the end zone. Hunter Henry finds the end zone again in this one. Thriller as the Houston Texans played the Houston Oilers, which was very confusing on television.
Yeah.
It was a weird time for Tennessee to wear those jerseys. But Will Levis had a scary injury at the very end of this game in overtime. It kind of looked like he was knocked the F out, but it was later released that it was an ankle. Not really
Yeah.
sure. DeAndre Hopkins was blanketed this entire game. He was targeted like crazy, but the Texans found a way to shut him down. They had a defensive touchdown. And I think the Titans had a defensive touchdown too.
Man, you tired.
I don't know what the heck is going on. I do know that I need to blow my nose, but Noah Brown with the ginormous day. Case Keenum was slinging the pill. The only time he was not was when they brought Davis Mills in because he apparently has a bigger cannon. So they had him throw the Hail Mary at the end of regulation, which did nothing.
Yeah.
And another game that I did not see highlights of, I did not keep up on the score, I did not pay attention to whatsoever, was Rams Commanders. Do you have any information for us on Rams Commanders as I go run to the restroom real quick to blow up my nose?
Obviously, the big thing for Rams Commanders is Kyron had a awesome day. Cooper Kupp has an amazing day as well. Puka gets just enough um, work. But the big story in the Commanders is that Sam Howell was benched for Jacoby Brissett. Terry McLaurin had a coming out party. Curtis Samuel had a coming out party. So, yeah, we'll kind of see what happens with them. We have the lowly Jets next week, I believe, for Washington. And so maybe people can get back on track for that. But otherwise, the Commanders are kind of a laughing stock. But who knows? They play the Jets next week, so maybe they'll get back on track.
All right. That brings us to Philadelphia, Seattle. I don't know what the stat line is for this game whatsoever, but it is 17-10. The Eagles do have a lead in the fourth quarter.
The
Looks
Eagles
like
have the lead.
Jason Myers.
I thought the
Yeah.
Seahawks have the lead.
Nope. Eagles 17-10. Jason Myers is lining up right now for a 43-yard attempt.
Who scored the Eagles' second touchdown?
Jalen Hurts.
He scored both.
He's got two rushing touchdowns.
Of course he does. Of
I
course he
actually haven't
does.
looked at let's I guess let's
Yeah.
so we already did the preview, right? It's Blaster versus Lucas and
Yep.
yourself versus Garrett.
Yes. And then the same toilet bowl matchups. And then the other ones don't really
Um
matter.
yeah. Oh, I accidentally got smoked in The Dynasty League. I didn't see that coming.
Did you see what I put up?
No.
I put up 202.56.
Nice.
James Cook.
Um, I have James Cook in my work league. I picked him up like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Dynasty playoffs next week.
Yeah. I don't think
You're in. You're the 3
this.
seed.
Yeah, I don't think this week affected any of the standings, did it?
No, theoretically, me and you could have flip-flopped if I would have lost and you would have won. You could have taken me as the 2 seed and I'd
Oh,
go to the
it's
3
still gonna
seed.
be us playing each other, huh?
No, I moved to the 1.
Oh, you moved to the 1 seed this week, so it did
Yeah,
matter for you.
yeah.
Okay.
It didn't matter for me. I played the other Zach, he was 11-3. I was 10-4. Now we tie
Oh,
and I have the tiebreaker. 4 points. So I get to play Luke.
all right.
Um, Quick update on the bets that matter. I went 2-1 last week. I had the Lions -5 and the Bills -2, and then you had the Raiders -3. So
Okay.
running total is Zach 22, Dalton 12, with 2 weeks to go. Which you can't catch up, can you?
Um,
No, you can only get 6, 16, 17. I guess 16. If we include the championship episode, so
well, season longs.
yep. So yeah, we'll keep going. We'll keep going. It's your
It
week
might
too.
be over next week, depending on how things go. But
Yeah.
it is my week. I thought
Yeah.
last week was my week.
No, it
No,
was
because you
my.
forced me into a
I
Cowboys
forced you
pick.
into taking the Cowboys.
All right, we're just gonna do Thursday and Saturday because
Okay.
why not?
Okay. Lay it on me.
First things first is the Saints and Rams. Rams are favored by 4.5 on Thursday night as the home favorite.
Saints are -4.5.
No, Rams are -4.5 at
Oh,
home.
Rams. Sorry. -4.5. On Thursday night football. I'll take the Rams.
Yes. Okay, give me the Saints plus 4.5. Next is the Cincinnati Bengals going to the Steelers. The Cincinnati Bengals are a 2.5 point favorite on the road in Pittsburgh. Give me the Bengals -2.5.
Yeah, you pigeonholed that one. So
Well, I'm
since
just
he,
going straight down the line.
yep. So since he's, I'm typing. Sorry, you said 2.5 point favorite,
-2.5 point favorite. Yep.
and you're taking Cincy. You're taking the 2.5,
Yep.
and I will take the Steelers at +2.5.
Yep.
Okay.
And last but not least, it is the Buffalo Bills playing on Peacock against the Chargers in Los Angeles. Buffalo is a -11 point favorite.
I'll lay the points.
So you want the
I'll take.
Bills.
I want the Bills.
All right, give me the Chargers +11. I actually think I might gamble that one in real life too for fun. I don't think the Bills offense has put up too many points this year.
Yeah, but the Chargers defense is horrendous. They just gave
It
it
is
63.
really bad. I'm doing it anyway. Fuck it. PH.
Um, yeah, man, we're coming down to the nitty gritty. Um, Season payouts will be coming out towards the end of the season. Dalton was the big money winner so far. He
Which
had
is
the
why it makes it hurt a little bit less that I
yeah
lost in the first
yeah
round. You know what I mean?
yeah it does. Everyone, I'll be sending everyone's skins out at the conclusion of the season. Um, yeah, good. Couple people already made their money back for next year, including myself, Dalton, and Patrick. 3 guys that have already covered all their league fees this year. So, um, good job.
I think that has been a cool added element.
Yeah, I think the skins has been fun. Um, I understand people not wanting to give out money for like most points and best record, but it's something like you've kind of earned it and you get knocked out. And so that's kind of like you've made your reward. Um, so yeah.
And those on the West Coast, those on the East Coast, those in the Midwest, I am Macaulay Culkin, and this has been another episode.